Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Nope. We're making cars today. Whether for low poly animations or just to add background props, these things will do the job. Probably don't make them this way if they're a foreground piece though. There's better ways. Anyway, get a reference image, add a plane, loop cut it along the y-axis and delete the left side. Add a mirror modifier and turn on clipping. Scale the plane to the length and width of your car. That's right, your car. As in, the one you chose. Don't go making it look like mine unless of course that's what you want. You do you. Put in some loop cuts and delete the faces where the tires will go to make the wheel wells. Extrude those edges up, fill in the top, scale them down a little bit. Not too much, the wheels won't have room to turn. This is a good place to check it against the reference using wireframe view. Grab the edges of the car and move them up a little to approximate those delicious car curves. Extrude the entire border up and scale it to 0 on the Z for a nice flat surface to start with. Go into orthographic view, that'll probably be 3 or control 3. Move those vertices to line up with the edge of your reference image. Subdivide this big edge 2 or 3 times if you need a bit more geometry. Fill in the roof faces and you're done. What's that? It looks like a box? Okay, use the knife tool to cut from the front of the hood to the back of the trunk. Also, cut between the front and back of the roof. Grab everything above that and move it towards the center of the car. Then slide only the roof towards the center. Squeeze parts of the trunk and hood area as you see fit. I generally squeeze more towards the outside and less towards the inside. Good, it doesn't look like it's made of cardboard anymore. Snap the 3D cursor to the top face of the wheel well and move it down using the view panel on the right until it lines up with the wheel in the reference. Stop, edit mode check, make sure you're not in edit mode and add a cylinder with 6 vertices. Rotate it 90 degrees along the Y and scale it so it lines up nicely with the reference wheel. Snap the 3D cursor to the other wheel well and use Alt-D to make a link duplicate of the first wheel. Snap it to the 3D cursor and you've already got 2 wheels. It's like some kind of weird motorcycle or something. Move the wheels to the same Z so they'll lie flat on the road. Add a mirror modifier to the wheel and set the mirror object to the car body. Select the other wheel, then this one again and use Ctrl L. Copy modifiers and you've got 4 wheels. Inset the front face of a wheel, extrude it inwards, then extrude it outwards and scale it down. Now you've got 4 wheels. That's gotta be a record or something. My oh my, you've just made one dirty mess. Time for some housekeeping. Select the bottom face of a wheel, switch to global coordinates, copy that view and move everything down by that much so the car rests nicely on the floor. Make sure everything's centered on the origin and apply the location of the car body. Rename everything geo_car body, geo_front wheels, and geo_back wheels. Wow, that was painful. But now it's done and you're looking golden. Move the 3D cursor to where the front door will be, add a plane and rotate it 90 degrees on the Y. Go back to orthographic view and move and add the proper vertices. Duplicate that while in edit mode and make it cover the back door if there is one. Pretend mine is supposed to have a back door. Alright, when did an extra door ever hurt anyone? Add a solidify modifier, change the offset to 0 and make the thickness huge, straight through the car. Go to the object properties and set display to wire. Rename it to door cutter because it's basically going to be a door cookie cutter. Add a solidify modifier to the body, set the offset to 1 and give it suitable car wall thickness. Mine was like 0.07. Alt-D to duplicate the car body and hide it with H. Add a boolean modifier to the car body, set the object to door cutter, mode to intersect and solver options to self intersection. Rename it to geo_doors. Unhide the duplicate, add a boolean modifier, set the mode to difference, the object to door cutter and the solver options to self intersection. You just cut yourself a brand new set of doors. Don't get cocky now, the worst is yet to come. For the front and back windows, inset the faces, delete the extra face in the middle and move the vertices to the center. For the other windows, use the knife tool to cut the sides in half and then inset to create the windows. Use the knife to cut out the shape of the headlights and rear lights. Extrude them inwards and make a pocket full of light. Duplicate the loops around the surface and separate them to a new object. Get rid of that pesky solidify modifier and fill in the faces. Rename them geo_glass. Apply the boolean modifiers to the car doors and body. This is where you get your last chance to mess around with the shape of the car. So go to town. Separate the front and back doors, extrude the windows in a little. If there are any weird little visual glitches, that's because they're caused by the boolean and solidify modifiers messing with each other. To fix them, you can apply the solidify modifier and make little knife cuts between the vertices to make some of the problematic faces smaller. Set everything to auto smooth and shade smooth to get a nice crispy look. That is one freshly baked vehicle. Okay, so textures. Right. Add a new material to the car body called car paint. Set the specular to 0.8, the roughness to 0.4, and the color to anything you want. Now let's turn it into a gradient by adding some texture coordinates and separating the object coordinates. Add a hue saturation value on top of the color you chose and plug the Z into the value socket. Bam! You've got a solid gradient texture that looks like 100 times better. Add a new material called glass. Assign it to the 2 windows. Add a glossy BSDF with roughness 0.2 and a transparent BSDF and add a layer weight with blend 0.25. Mix the transparent and glossy with the facing as the factor. Give the doors the car paint material and add the glass material to the windows. You can just slap the glass shader on the headlights, but change the color to red for the rear lights. Add a new material to the wheels and call it tire. Set the color to almost black, specular to 0.05 and roughness to 0.8. Do the same gradient texture setup for the blacks. Add a new material and call it metal. Set metallic to 1 1 and specular and roughness to 0.2. Now you're really done. You've got a custom car set up nicely for rigging, so check out my next video for that, so you can take this thing to the next level. Obviously though, this is the bare minimum for a car, and there's a lot missing, like the interior, dashboard, steering wheel, seats, side view mirrors, rear view mirrors, and any little trinkets you might want to add. But that's the beauty of it. You can easily make your own little pieces and add them on before rigging the car up. To be honest, you can even add them after rigging the car up, and it'll still probably be fine. Almost everything you see in all my animations I make myself, and if you want the car I just made here, the one on the thumbnail, or anything in any of my animations, be sure to check out my Patreon in the description, and it'll all be there for you to use in your own animations. And with that, get out there and animate something awesome.